I agree.
Welcome to Pirates of Drinax. We'll be picking up where we left off last week. We are picking up back with the pirate travelers. They have headed back to the Floating Palace at Drinax, and they are um, they headed back for a couple of reasons. But the big one was that they have a couple of system defense boats, a couple of 210 system defense boats that are in in jump with them that are flying with them, and attached to the Osiris via its docking clamps. And so that is part of their plan. They want to kind of shore up the defenses of Drinax with some SDBs. But also, they intercepted a communications drum that was encoded, and they made a stop over at Tech World, and Enigmatics, a not really an AI, but a really advanced computer, assisted them in decrypting some of this information. And I mean, they couldn't decrypt all of it because this thing was so full of information that it would take literally years. But they did determine some interesting things. Evidently, this data drum would be stashed aboard a non-discrete ship, which is how they came across it, because they just happened to their other crews just happened to hit a vessel, pirating it, and came across this. And when a ship would carrying one of these drums would come into a system, it would send out a uh, encoded message ping, and anybody that would receive that would be a general development corporation employee, and they would then transmit data back to this message drum. All stuff that they are essentially spying on the various places, and they found information from locations all across the Trojan Reach, and so. I mean, Judecco is clearly spying everywhere, and one of the locations that they discovered that spying was taking place was coming from the floating palace at Drinax. And doing a little bit more research, they determined that these messages coincided every single time with Rachando, the merchant who runs the bazaar. Excuse me. The Rachando's bazaar. Whenever he was at the floating palace, if there was one of these courier ships that came in range, that's when it would be transmitting. And they cross reference this with a couple of times where one of these courier ships came into the Drinax system and it didn't receive any data. And they kind of double checked that, and those were times that Rachando was away. So it's by no means 100% foolproof, but they highly suspect that Rachando is a spy. And so they want to go up to him and tell him he has some splaining to do or to investigate. We don't know. We'll find out which direction these guys are going. But before we get started, we would like to thank a friend of the Greenwater Guildhall. None of these are sponsorships or partnerships of any kind. They are just products that we really like. Tonight, we would like to thank Fable Beard Company. Fable Beard makes wonderful beard products such as oils, balms, butters, beard wash, conditioner. They've got all natural deodorant, spray on colognes, a number of many different items. And there's also a women's line under fablebeauty.com, and all of the scent profiles are a different fantasy character. Tonight I'm wearing the Hero Beard Balm. Smells of a light amber cologne with a hint of pipe tobacco. Really quite nice. Not a heavy cologne at all. But they have a lot of different scents, so I recommend going through their website and checking them out. They do have a buy one get one free option for first time purchasers. So if you go to fablebeardco.com and create an account, you can then put 2 beard oils, or I believe it's any 2 products. You can put them into your cart, and when you check out, that second product will be discounted to free. We also have a merch store via Zazzle. They've got T-shirts and buttons, hoodies, and whiskey rocks glasses, and there's a beer stein and a fleece blanket. There's all sorts of stuff on that site, and so that 100% of the proceeds from that site goes directly back into our channel. It helps us cover the cost of all the minor monthly odds and ends, such as Roll20 Pro subscription or Incarnate subscription. A lot of different things, and so these little piddly little tiny $5.99 here and $5.99 there, and they add up when there's several of them together, and this helps us kind of make those ends meet at the end of each month. So if you want to help us out, go get yourself the Pirates of Drinax T-shirt, the logo made by wonderful Cameron. You can find that on the site. They also come in that logo also can be found in a button. And pick up a T-shirt and a Whiskey Rocks glass, and we appreciate everything you do for us. I have been working. So yes, I'm still working on the Stagina book for Braunhaven, but I've kind of started working on something else too at the same time, which is probably not the smartest thing that I could have done, but it's important that when I get this inspiration, I got to get this shit down on paper or digital in some way, so that when I do get into writing the whole thing, that I don't forget all of it, and so I've been kind of losing my mind for the past couple of days. I've made probably close to 35 maps in the past 3 or 4 days, so yeah, a lot of fucking maps. But some of them for Traveler too. So yeah, what I've realized is that there's just simply not enough hours in the day for me to get done everything that I want to get done, and so I actually, for the first time ever since I started doing this, I actually worked overtime last night. I mean, not like, oh, I don't have anything else to do, so I'll do some maps. No, it was like, fuck, I'm way behind, and I got to get work done, and so I was working on maps until like midnight. So yeah, that's where I'm at. But yeah, it's all good stuff. The Figured out some new things, like how to do snow and fog effects, and mixing the fog with lighting effects, and all sorts of cool stuff that I am all doing in Incarnate. And this is going to be for a horror themed adventure that is ways in the future, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We might have. It depends on my book writing schedule, but I mean, we could take a break and do a couple of new characters just to test it out. I don't know. We'll figure it out when the time comes. I'm thinking ahead, and I don't need to be, because we're not there yet. So that's what I've been. Hold on just a second. Let me turn on some air here. That's better. All right. So, you guys have arrived back at the Floating Palace of Drinax, and um, everybody can make a recon plus social check. Or actually, no, I take that back. Everybody can make a streetwise plus intellect check. 9 and 12. Okay.
I'm coming in as Rock Hardware.
Okay.
Coming in as Rock Hardware with my motherfucking party bots and rock my fucking rolls.
Okay.
So how about
So
that?
so the three of you kind of you can immediately determine that there is a an atmosphere of intrigue in the floating palace. Like everywhere you go, people are murmuring and talking, and evidently there are two pieces of major news. And so the first piece of news is that while you have been away for some time, excuse me, you've been away for some time. Last time that you were at the floating palace, you had heard the news that King Oleb had woken up from his coma. And, I mean, not, I mean, he's not 100% healthy, obviously. But, um, and you also heard that he was particularly perturbed with the fact that that you guys brought him to the Scholars Tower because one of his not necessarily that he really remembers his dying wish at that point, but he was pretty adamant about the fact that he didn't want to be, um, you know, turned into a robot like his son was. And you guys did it anyways. So he was a little bit irritated. But so the first part of the information is that he is he has entered into essentially a physical therapy rehabilitation program. And so the entire palace, everywhere you go, people are, you know, justifiably excited for the fact that the king is up and around. Day-to-day operations of the kingdom are still being handled by Prince Herrick, and you, with your streetwise, you're able to pick up that one of the methods of physical rehabilitation that King Oleb has chosen, despite the fact that his doctors have tried to tell him numerous times that this is not rehabilitation, is that King Oleb has particularly become enthralled with Torpolian water polo. And so he has had an entire swimming pool dedicated on the floating palace to learning to play this form of the water polo sport that is from the Torpol system. Nobody even knows how he learned about this, but there he is. And so that's what he's been doing. But the other piece of news that you hear is that evidently there was a courier ship, a General Development Corporation courier ship that was sent directly to Drinax, and it was on absolutely official business. It wasn't that Drinax was a stopover. It wasn't that this ship had other places to go. This was its only destination. And the news around the court is that evidently General Development has been in the process of rebuilding the highport around the planet Vorito. You know, I'm trying to see why was that. So it was the original highport was destroyed in a terrorist attack 7 years ago, and that downgraded Vorito. And let me show you where Vorito is. Not that far away. I mean, there you are, right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parsecs away. So, because this highport was destroyed by a terrorist act, that basically dropped Vorito's starport class from its original Class A to Class E. It's just there's nowhere to land, right? Now, I mean, it says went from a Class A to Class C, but I mean, Vorito is a water world. It's a fairly nice planet. I can't. They don't have a downport. But anyways, I guess not. But in came general development, and general development started to rebuild their starport. And I mean, really, when you consider it, I mean, yes, Vorito had a Class A starport before, but it was certainly, I mean, when you think of a Class A starport, you immediately think, oh, well, it's big and it can do everything and it's probably really fancy. That's not always the case. It might be big and capable of doing almost anything, but that doesn't mean that it's nice. And so, general development, of course, using are going to put the finishing touches on making it a corporate run facility. And this courier ship was sent from Vorito to Drinax to essentially invite a delegation from the kingdom of Drinax to the Vorito highport for the official recommissioning ceremony and reopening of Vorito's highport. So the first thing that you guys hear is the buzz around the court. Now, also, we have to consider the court is a couple of people smaller because you put a bullet in Princess Rao, and you put a bullet in Lady Hill. So there's two less people right there. But pretty much the rest of the court is all a buzz about who is going to go. Prince Herrick hasn't made any motion as to who he wants to send, and his father hasn't said anything. And so, and of course, everybody around the palace, of course, is kind of expecting King Oleb to more or less make the decision on who's going to go, even though everybody knows that Prince Herrick is the one kind of still in charge. He's kind of taken over his father's duties. So everybody's, there's speculation, wild speculation over everything. There are obvious people that want to go. The most obvious of them is Lord Rax, who is, of course, the commander of the Drinaxian military. He, in the past, has had some... you guys have butted heads with him pretty much since the day you got here. So long ago. First, it was that first it was that you guys took the Harrier, which he wanted to use as his flagship, and then it was the fact that King Oleb was putting so much into you guys, and you guys are nothing but lowly pirates, even though you hadn't even pirated anything yet. Just the idea that that's why you were hired was, kind of sticking in his craw. And so, I mean, he's. I mean, there was the whole Princess Rao thing. Yeah, that. I mean, you ended up shooting Princess Rao, but at the same time, he kind of owes you one because you rescued his daughter and got her out of a
Yeah.
bad situation. I mean, it's so. I mean, that kind of smoothed things over. A little rough because you at some point you did imprison him, but um, you know, it is what it is. And so, I mean, it's a little bit smoothed over, but he's still not your biggest fan. But
It's not like we killed him.
yeah, it's not like you shot him. Um,
Yeah.
so, so he, of course, is interested in going. There are some who speculate that even Prince Herrick would be interested in going, but with his father convalescing, it is unlikely that Prince Herrick would be able to go.
Okay.
And so, well, I mean, nobody's brought you guys up yet. So the question is, I mean, first of all, which of the do you want to go and talk about this to? I mean, you're also here, of course, to. You, are you good? Okay. Are you, as far as the Rachando situation goes, are you going to talk to Prince Herrick or King Olaf about that first? Or are you just going to go and try to dig up some information? Or are you just going to go rough him up and try to interrogate him? I mean, which direction are you going to go with that?
I would like to very first just while we're getting our first lay of the land and everything is get an update on the other dock.
Yes. So down
something
here,
like that. Yeah.
right down here, the starport docks and starport control. Starport control is still a complete mess, but you should be pleased to note that the starport docks themselves. I mean, to your eye coming in, maybe with the exception of some fresh paint, the docks themselves look like they are constructed and repaired.
Awesome.
That's awesome. That's more docking space. The system defense
Well,
boat can
they
work out of that.
they do not have the docks do not have power yet, which won't be routed in until the starport control is set up. The of course the system defense boats can operate or do their rotation in and out of the docks, but for the most part, this is a big deal. This is the third thing that the entire palace is a buzz about, is because this is going to. I mean, yeah, you've been operating out of the royal docks, but the starport docks are really the big deal, and this is going to put Drinax back on the map as having a full-fledged, fully capable Class A starport. All they got to do is, finish running the wiring and probably got some plumbing issues and drywall.
They've got a fully automated thing of bots there.
Never trust drywall to a bot. Everybody knows that.
Well, I mean, we set them up with leadership. We bought like 3 tiers of bots.
Yeah.
To work that. So I'm hoping that that's enough.
That's one of the reasons why the construction of the port has gone up so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't begging for more. I was just merely.
I mean, the thing to keep in mind. I mean, yes, this will be a Class A starport, but size-wise, the port itself. I mean, it's pretty big, but it's not as big as some of the other starports you've been in. I mean, this is essentially it will help in turning the entirety of the floating palace more or less into a highport. So, which is kind of what it did in the past before before Drinax was bombed into an oblivion.
Yeah, then I'm good. Whatever Captain Beth wants to do. I mean, it's her rodeo. We're just fucking grabbing the horns.
So,
Well,
like I said, you don't know 100% that Rachando is a spy, even. So
how
I don't
would
know.
we go about looking for information or for confirmation of that? I'm not
Okay,
sure how we do that.
We
so
can do that.
you want to go? Basically, you want to do an investigation. Uh,
Okay.
Well, is his
I mean,
ship
I would
here?
assume. Is this ship?
Is his sh-
Yes. Yes,
That's where
he
that's
is
where you
here.
investigate his fucking ship.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
then,
I don't want to bother the king or prince with this unless we know that they're coming.
okay, excellent. Okay. So, uh, so then the next question, and of course, this is whispered around the court. Um, what about you guys? Not that they're not referring to you as pirates, because most of the court probably doesn't know that you're pirates. They just know that you have been seen in the immediate vicinity of King Oleb quite often. You've been seen in the immediate company of Prince Herrick quite often, and so of course you are well known around the court. I mean, nobody knows who Rock Hardware is. I mean, they know who Rock Hardware is, but they've never seen him here. Um, so I mean, there's that little manner of popularity too, which we'll get to in just a minute. But so part of the question around whispers around the court is, what about you guys? I mean, are the main question is, are you going to lobby for a particular person, such as Lord Rax or Prince Herrick, to go to Vorito? Or do you want to lobby for yourselves?
And we are not on good terms with Judeco, man.
Yeah, I know. We're like the last fucking.
Well,
Unless they.
if you remember, the information that you got out of the data drum kind of painted you guys in a better light than you figured. I mean, you've killed a
Yeah.
lot of Judeco people. Let's just not mince words about that. You have straight up, flat out murdered several General Development Corporation agents, usually in the form of assassins or security guards of some kind. But still, all of this data that you got out of this drum, or what was decoded, painted you guys in a pretty good light.
Wasn't it that we were like deterring other threats? Right?
Yeah.
More or
That was
less,
kind of the
yeah.
deal.
Well, you came to the conclusion that you are pulling the star systems together, because part of this report that's come back, and probably one of the reasons why Judeco has been so interested in you, is that you guys did something that was completely unexpected. You used the false treaty to essentially scare systems into making a verbal agreement to join Drinax.
That's right. Mm.
And apparently
Yeah.
that's what they wanted, so.
Yeah.
They being
What do you
Judeco.
guys think about Vorito? Anything?
I think we've been to Burrito, but it's been a long time since we've been to Burrito.
I don't
We
think you
did.
I don't think that you have. I don't
Oh,
remember having you
it's right
guys
next
go
to
there.
Fantasy. I thought we had been there, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I
I
mean,
think fantasy was as far as we went. In my recollection.
Okay,
how
it
many
would have been a long time back either way.
how many tons is a control system for a fucking starport?
No, how many tons?
Well,
mean-
they're rebuilding a starport there, and we need starport parts. And so
A lot. It's probably going to be a lot. Yeah. I mean,
so we might need a freighter or something. or a frigate. What could shenanigans, carry the boxed up and condensed controls for the?
Well, let's see here. Let me just take a gander.
If they're wanting us to really go there, we might have to suck it up and take it for the team, guys, and borrow some of their stuff.
Yes.
So,
yeah, that would be. They'd quit looking at us good guys then, I bet.
okay. So
Shenanigans is tiny.
So to tell you, so this gives you an example of how big an orbital highport is, especially one that is going to be populous. Out of curiosity, that brings up another question. Let me go back over here. Since you have taken me down this rabbit hole, we shall go down this rabbit hole together. So first thing we got to look at is Vorito. So Vorito, current starport quality is E. It's about to go A. Size is a 5. So it's not very big. It's about 8,000 kilometers in diameter. That's right.
So it's kind of comparable to the palace. Now you're not saying things to dissuade us here.
No. This is the planet. This isn't the highport. So the planet is about 8,000 kilometers in diameter. It's a little larger than Mars. Atmosphere is a dense, tainted atmosphere. Pressure is between 1.5 and 2.49. Survival gear required would be a filter mask. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, our combat armor kind of covers all that.
Yes. It has 46% to 55% water and a large ocean. Atmosphere was a 9. +1. I'm just spitballing here. So it says its median temperature is between 0 and 30 degrees Celsius. It's a temperate Earth-like world. Where was I? 5 for hydrographics. Population is A. Tens of billions of people. This was really the question. And government is B. Non-charismatic leader. Previous charismatic dictator has been replaced by a leader through normal channels. Examples would be a military dictatorship, hereditary kingship, contraband, weapons, technology, computers, which then, of course, brings me to law level. Wait. Law level is E? What's that? Oh. So, pretty much all weapons and armor are banned on Vorito. And it has tech level A, meaning...
That's 10?
Yes, tech level 10. And now that's just the world. And of course, with Judecco coming in and building a starport, part of the reason why they build starports is, or the agreement that they get into with the planet, is that it is going to uplift them technologically. So if they're already tech level 10, you could easily see them jump to 13 within the next couple of years, maybe sooner. So, having said that, looking at what this highport is, fancy as, I mean, you don't know, you haven't been there yet, you haven't seen it, But as fancy as everybody's making it sound, and as fancy as this invitation is, I mean, this invitation is a formal diplomatic function. So you show up in dress uniform or tuxedos, etc. They're going to put you up in the finest of accommodations, and they're going to feed you ridiculous amounts of caviar and food and champagne, etc. So this port probably is going to be a big fucking deal, right? So it says orbital highport of a populous world, which this is in the range of 1 billion tons.
So it would be feasible to maybe siphon off just out of their spares and shit.
You
enough
could,
to really push the smaller port we have. I mean, if we got their spare parts, maybe that'd be enough to get our control systems working here. That's what you say we're missing.
No, I didn't say you're missing. I said that they're in the process of building it.
Yeah. So okay, if we could bring a lot of the shit, consoles, a whole bunch of that, wouldn't that push that forward?
Technically, yeah. I mean, every little bit'll help. I mean, they don't give any kind of numbers, but I would think that the Floating Palace probably is in. I don't know. I would say the Floating Palace is probably in the 500 million to 700 million ton range. I mean, it's approaching 1 billion.
Okay.
So, but I mean, the Floating Palace is not all highport, so this thing's technically possibly even bigger.
I wouldn't mind going just for the fancy treatment.
Yeah, I don't mind going. I'm just, I mean, we'll go wherever the fuck you tell us to go, to be honest with you. But if we're going to go there, I want to steal a whole bunch of fucking spares for their highport and bring it back. That's like our side
we're gonna
mission.
stop on the way, right? We're gonna go to the world on the way.
I mean, you could, yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Let's see. When you could jump from, yeah, you could jump to Hilfer. Is there a faster way? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
if we go
you would
route,
you have two choices. You could either go from Drinax to Hilfer, from Hilfer to Sink, and then you have your choice of either making a jump 1 to the world or a jump 2 to fantasy, and then make a jump 1 to Vorito. I mean,
okay,
yeah,
but how are we going to alert the people of the world that the world is bigger than the space station?
could we go down into the Aslan space and this place right here?
Yeah, you could go to Tyok. You have some underworld contacts on Tyok in the form of Tassie Two Toes.
Yeah.
We just pay them to let the world people know somehow. My favorite idea is to somehow weld a little window somewhere on the.
You just want to go and rip that Band-Aid off and just.
I mean, we could.
No, it'll be little, but somebody will notice it, and then the rumor will spread.
Yeah.
And then some shit will go down. That's how I really want it. Well, I don't know how to do that.
If we hit this Tokay or whatever the fuck that Tyok, and then we J1 to the world, and then J2 right on in, we can do your little bit on the world. All right. The reason I'm wanting to go to Aslan space, maybe on page 8 of the Traders and Gunboats are the Aslan orbital defense fighters.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, they're only like 1.5 million credits, right? And they've got these fixed mount beam lasers and a fixed mount fucking laser rack and 10 armor, you know? So
Yeah, you're talking about
God,
the IFTIA, right? Yeah. The
yeah,
orbital defense
yeah,
fighter.
yeah. Man, I mean, I got to think that's the place to go get those. But I mean, that looks like something kind of cool to have.
So
Let's go show
those
up and
fighters
check
are
it.
35 tons a pop.
That's right.
So looking at so let's just how much can you carry? So the first, let's just look at the Osiris, which is your command ship. It has 40 tons. Oh wait, 36 tons. It could fit one fighter into the bay, into the cargo bay.
What about shenanigans?
I don't think that you'd be able to get a fighter into. I mean, if your cargo hold is 36 tons, I don't think you'd be able to get a fighter in there. I don't think the doors are big enough. Anubis has 25.7 tons of cargo, so that's a no. Shenanigans has 40 tons of cargo space, 3 tons in concealed compartments. So on Shenanigans, this is your deck plan. Number 7 is the cargo airlocks. I don't know that they're wide enough to get a fighter, a 35-ton fighter in.
So it would be some assembly required.
A lot of assembly required. I mean, likely you're talking about the entire fuselage having to be. I mean, looking at the picture of the IFTIA, likely going to have to take it in 3 pieces to get it to fit.
What are we planning on doing?
Well,
Doing something eventually.
I'm thinking we're getting ready to have a big fight, and so I mean,
Yeah, that's true. That's fair enough, isn't it?
yeah,
We want to defend Drinax with it. Is that the plan here?
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's close. I mean, I'm not wanting to go fly. It's
Do
basically
we have
on
a freighter available to us? Could we rent a freighter or something?
You know,
Well, for 18 million credits, there's a fucking Aslan freighter on page 14. And it's got 91 cargo. So I mean, we could dump a couple fighters in there pretty easy.
theoretically. So you recalled your ships from Tech World, so they should be in the space around Drinax, if not docked at the Royal Docks. And the reason why I bring that up, here it is. So one of these ships that you inherited, I believe from when you took over as Lords of Thieves and kind of when you did away with Hurl Irontooth. You guys did kill Hurl Irontooth, didn't you? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. Anyways,
We killed fucking the dude
Those
that hated the
Baldy.
Aslan. Yeah, I don't think we killed the Iron Tooth guy.
Well, I know
I think he's still floating around.
He might be, yeah. One of the ships that you have, maybe it wasn't from Hurl, but I know that one of the ships that you inherited somewhere is an Indigo class pirate carrier. Hold on here.
Now that could probably carry some fighters. Yeah, that sounds like something. I'm thinking if we get some cheap fighters, like $1.5 million a piece, to blend in with these system defense boats that we dropped off. I mean, that
Yeah.
and that's what we're trying to do is make Drinax so people can't come fucking piss on our porch.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be good to have some photos.
Half a dozen, or what are you thinking?
Huh?
Half a dozen, or do you want more? Or what are you thinking?
Man, I mean, half a dozen would be great if we could fit all them on one. Hey, we might have to have them shuttle it, but I mean,
Yeah.
if we got the ship that we can, assign people to make that that. We had trouble with fighters that ran up on us. Other people had them.
Yeah.
It'll definitely stop on pirates and all that. And then as far as investigating Rolando, I mean, really all I know is to go on his ship and look at his computers. So tell us every fucking thing we want to know about the guy. How hard that might be, I don't know.
I guess it depends on how good a spy he is. If he is a spy, if he's not, it might be really easy to get in there.
We could also fake send him shit like it's picking up data.
You could do that too. So this is the Indigo class pirate carrier. Now, under normal conditions, this thing would carry 10 light fighters. And so, I mean, a light fighter, according to this. So a light fighter is only 10 tons.
So we could fit.
You could fit what? You could fit four.
We could fit one in the cargo space, one in the cargo hold, because it's 65 tons, right?
Well, let's look at the deck plans. Where's the so 11 is the cargo hold. Probably not. It doesn't open to the outside.
Okay, so if there's 10
Well,
of
it says
them,
65 tons for the cargo. I don't know if that is that.
Right, but that would be.
Or,
But there's no external access to the cargo bay. It has to come in through the elevators, through the lift hatches. So that would mean that. You'd be stuck with the docking clamps on the outside. If it's normally carrying 100 tons, you could carry 2 of these fighters. They're 35 tons each.
yeah.
Yeah, you could carry.
Better than nothing.
What did you say, Cameron?
I said it's better than nothing to have two, right?
Yeah, I mean, 2 of them is going to run us about 3 million, and
Well, they're 10.72 million a pop.
for the fighters.
Yeah, orbital defense fighter IFTIA purchase cost 10.72 mega credits.
Oh well, there it is. So they're not as cheap as I thought they were, but
I mean, you could try to buy some used. I'm sure that they have surplus. I mean, Tyok is a huge, huge planet. I mean, that's a major, major Aslan trading hub.
and Tasty might be able to help us out in getting that.
yeah.
Right.
I was looking in the wrong place for the ship cost, but still 10 mil. I mean, if we could get that price down, 2 of them. I mean, they got 10 armor. So, I mean, these aren't like these little fighters that are going to just, go ding shit, I mean, they can take some hits, what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're basically launched from either a high port or from a down port for the purpose of planetary defense. They've got a fixed beam laser, and they've got a fixed missile rack, and they carry 72 missiles.
Wow.
So I
That's
mean,
pretty great.
Yeah.
and they've got both a maneuver drive and a reaction drive. The maneuver drive is only capable of thrust 2, but the reaction drive can bump that up to 12 Gs. An
But
additional
only
12
for
Gs.
but they can only do the 12 Gs for like 20 minutes.
Right. Yeah, because they'll run out of fuel. It's an afterburner.
Yeah. But I mean,
We could just shopping.
we definitely go shopping and give it a shot. I'm not saying let's definitely get it, but I'd like to go try to buy it. I mean, they even have light fighters here, but if this
That's true.
pirate carrier already has 10 light fighters in it, I mean,
Yeah, it's got 10 light fighters. The light fighters, I mean, they're not fantastic. They
I
have
do want to
fixed.
try and invest.
No, go ahead.
I do want to try and investigate Rachando before we get going. Though. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that too.
Yeah, so the light fighters have all they have is a fixed mount pulse laser, but their maneuver drive is will do 6 Gs. This is stupid. They have fuel scoops. They're a fighter. They don't have a jump drive. Why do they have fuel scoops? That seems like a waste of. Seems like a waste of space.
Yeah.
But their fuel tank, their fuel tanks will allow them to do 4 weeks of operation. I'm like, well, they're a fighter. They should be coming back into the mothership for resupply.
I mean, manning this pirate carrier with his light fighters, I mean that's pretty fucking good shit floating around Drinax.
Yeah.
It's not a bitch.
Well, I mean, and
Oh.
you've got a bunch of other ships too.
Yeah. Just doesn't have any armor. It's a base.
Right. Yeah, I mean you've got I mean some of them have some armor. You got a lot of far traders, maybe a couple of free traders, you know. You've got one subsidized liner that has been turned into a gunboat with no armor, but it's got guns.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
So I mean, you know, you've got some hitting power out there already.
Okay. Well,
So it's up to you guys.
I'm not. I guess we're wanting to investigate our buddy Rachando. Yeah. How do you want to do it? Do you want to do a fake signal? Try to mimic the shit that was sending out a signal for the drum to collect, and see if that draws him out.
you guys are the computer people. Is that possible?
I'm thinking if we get some people scanning here on the palace or at a ship on the palace, and then do the thing, you guys could, the ship mimicking the scout that was getting the data drop. It would just send out a ping. And then the ship here around the palace, all we got to do is figure out who sends the motherfucking data packets.
Right.
And yeah, and then that's
You can even read those data packets too.
Yeah.
Well, if it's feasible, then that sounds like a really good way to go about it. Yeah.
Then that's
Yeah,
our plan.
exactly.
We'll go jump on we'll go
It
jump
seems
on
like it
one of
bombs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
his ship is currently in the Royal Docks. The name of his ship is the Invisible Hand, and
Okay.
it is a far trader.
So I guess we'll take the Anubis just kind of out on a long distance and shoot a tight beam ping at the invisible hand,
Okay.
and we want to get so it's difficult to see who the fuck we are with sensors, but just send that little
So the first thing that we want, so Captain Beth, go ahead and make a piloting plus dex check.
14.
Okay. So Beth sets you out probably about 8 hours out, and the stealth of Anubis's hull pretty much makes you guys invisible to pretty much everything out there. So the Harrier is doing its job. If you're wanting to send a false signal, it is a very difficult 12 plus electronics communications plus education or intellect. So who's doing comms?
gonna take my time.
Okay.
For an extra 2, and then I don't get shit from the damn ship, do I?
Actually, yeah, I think you probably would.
On the Anubis? I
Yeah.
couldn't remember.
Yeah, the Anubis. Yeah, the Anubis you would. Let me. I hope if I opened up that book. I always forget at least one of these books. That would be right. Drinaxian Companion. Easiest way to find it. Help if this would fucking work with me. Thank you. Okay. So, the Harrier. Le Anubis. I would say that you would get a +2 to that because it has advanced sensors and a military countermeasure suite.
All right. And then, is there any way that I could get Keith to do some computering to help mimic and clone the signal as a task chain?
So what signal are you wanting to mimic and clone?
The one of that.
Data drum, right?
Because-
Data drum.
Yeah.
Yeah. The data drum signal that was coming from that ship we got the data drum off of.
That's what you're doing with that comms check that you just did. So you've already done that, and you've sent that out. But whoever when you
How about a 16?
Okay. So
for real?
yes. So
Yeah.
so you mimic that signal and you send out this fake ping, and you do receive you start to receive data coming in. So the next thing that would be involved in this, and you get a +2 to this roll, would be another comms plus electronics comms plus intellect or education +2. And this one is going to be a very difficult 12 plus as well because the data is being encoded.
17.
You trace it back. It is coming from right here.
Is that him? Royal dot. Okay, we need to go to the source then. That's the next thing we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got zeroed in on the coordinates. Now we can know if Rachando is really our friend. If he's just sticking with him.
Yep.
Hold on here.
We could also try to send back. I mean, because we're kind of linked in now. You know what I mean? Maybe send back a message saying that there's an important item he needs to pick up at a specific location at a certain time, and then leave that item as a trap to jump out and be like, "Ha ha, we got you."
Right.
But I
I
mean, the
don't
more
know.
complicated the plan gets, the sooner or later I'm gonna fuck it up, and all
Yeah,
the
the
cool
rolls
shit.
are gonna not be
Yeah,
amazing. Boy.
yeah. If I fuck the rolls up, it's not good.
So,
We have a room with a surprise in it. That's already pretty good.
so Captain Beth, you can make another piloting plus dex check.
9.
Jesus. And you can all three of you make a recon plus intellect check.
10.
9.
11.
Okay, so you all see on your scopes that as you are you're stealthily making your way towards back to Drinax, about halfway there, so about 4 hours in, you note that another ship has jumped into system, and it is pinging. Hold on here. Let me. It is a merchant ship. In fact, since I have this book open,
I don't think we should piss in our own kitchen.
this isn't the.
That's always good advice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think we should go fucking pirating here, in Dranax. Sit, anywhere in this. I mean, we could not get attacked by our own system defense boats, but the damage it does to the reputation of the system is a lot.
We're a little busy. That's it.
No, I agree, but he likes to throw these things out here and be like, "Oh, here's 500 million credits on this ship," and then what do we do, right?
It is a fairly nice 300-ton merchant trader that is pinging as the Loose Strife, and it is out of Marduk. And you guys can make. I mean, you can do a number of things. You can scan it. You can run comms checks on it.
I want to look in the logs of our fucking computer and see if we've run across this ship before.
You have not.
Thank you for not wasting my time on rolling.
You don't need to. Yeah, no, you have not run across the Loose Strife before. But you can, if you want to, you can make a electronics comms check to scan it is openly broadcasting its IFF code, so you could scan that for all sorts of data.
9.
So, yeah, the captain of the ship is named Captain Hargrove. They have a small crew of Captain Hargrove. They have a pilot, an astrogator, and 2 engineers. They also have a steward aboard. Their cargo manifest is, oddly enough, spare parts, industrial spare parts, and that are actually slated for delivery at Drinax, and passengers. A trade delegation from Marduk.
Oh,
They're
I think
helping
we
us
asked.
out to build our thing, aren't they?
Yeah.
Probably.
You
That's
know,
awesome.
uh, why don't we just send one of our system defense boats a little message saying, "Hey, go over there and inspect and all that and do the initial rundown on them. Check them over. You know, don't be aggressive or nothing, but really just delay them for about 5 hours,
Okay.
and that give us plenty of time to deal with this Rachando shit before they come in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean they will dock at the rail docks. The starport isn't open yet.
Right, right. So if we sent one of our defense boats to go out there and play Barney Fife security and you know do a lot of long talking and traditional teas and brunches and inspect and look, you know, and all that, you know, just tell them that the docks have had some issues and the ship needs to be under a good full working thing, and you know, they'd like to see all the system checks of all the systems. And,
Okay.
you know, that's got to take a long time, especially when you talk about reactors and shit. So, I mean, you know, just something stupid. But I think I gave them enough to go on that even a half-assed competent captain could go over there and play customs and hold them up
Sure.
while we do this.
Sure. Okay. So you have one of your SDBs truck on out there, and Captain Beth is able to, of course, bring the Anubis back into a berth in the Royal Docks. In the Royal Docks, there are a couple of ships docked here. One of them, of course, being Shenanigans. Another one is the Invisible Hand, and then you see that there are a couple of other small traders. There's another far trader and another small merchant ship that are docked here presently. This somewhere in these docks is where that signal came from.
I'm just going to ask Shenanigans where the signal came from, because Shenanigans has been hanging out trying to get everything, doing espionage listening. So
Right.
Might have caught it.
yeah, maybe Shenanigans knows which one fucking got the signal and sent it back. She's been sitting here listening. She's a good old friend of
Well,
mine.
I mean, not really.
I thought we knew where it came from.
Yeah, that's the problem. You didn't do a sensors. I mean, if somebody wants to do a sensors check, you can. But I mean,
Okay.
Shenanigans isn't going to just automatically know where this signal came from.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna add a +2 because we have cool sensors.
Yes.
And get a 14.
Okay, so you are able to pin down that this signal came from the Invisible Hand.
All right, time to go look into that vessel.
Should we board the Invisible Hand, or should we go approach the guy? I mean, what are you thinking?
He can't really go anywhere without his ship, so if we board it, then he's kind of fucked.
That's what
Well,
I'm.
we might get ourselves in a firefight. So if we're gonna board it, let's like sneak in or something.
Yeah, sneak in or gear up.
I think gear up and fucking do a spacewalk and just try to how deep on this dude's
Well, I mean,
ship can we get?
he's docked. I mean, there's no need for a spacewalk. You can walk up to his ship in its berth.
But okay, well, let's go chameleon and try to get there unseen.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Everybody should make a stealth plus dex check, and you get your bonuses for your chameleon.
Chameleon is +3.
I got 11.
14.
I got a 14.
Okay.
Wow. Mm,
We're like the ghost.
okay.
We've entered the ethereal plane, and we are going through the walls of the ship, and we will reappear inside.
Okay. So, hold on here. One. There we go. That works. Perfect. Wow. So the airlock is currently locked and closed up. You've got a couple of options. I mean, you can try to use mechanic, probably mechanic plus intellect to try to essentially take the lock mechanism apart and force the door open. You could try to hack it using a computer, computers and intellect, or intellect or education, plus any intrusion software.
What technical level is the ship?
I want to say 12. Let me double check that. It is a far trader. Yeah, TL12. It's an A2 hero class.
So I could do a mechanics check. That's definitely an option.
Well, if you use
Hacking
all the
is fun.
intrusion software and all that of here, I'll hand you my computer with all my software on it, and
Nice.
and tell you to here, hack the motherfucker. And so I mean, I've got a TL14 computer, so there's +2. My intrusion software gives you another +2, so there's +4. Then all you need is your computer skills and some
Plus either intellect or education.
yeah,
Okay.
and a wave of your hand and all that.
Man,
Yeah.
that's a 10.
A 10 total, or what? Or
10 total.
oh shit.
Yeah, that was really low.
So
Report.
so two things. So as you're attempting to hack in, the first thing, I mean, a 10 is enough for you to get in far enough that you are able to make some obvious. You're going to notice some obvious things about what's going on with the firewall here. The first thing is that this is a fairly advanced security system, and the sensors already detected Captain Beth. She failed her stealth check, and so it sent out an alert to the captain of the vessel.
Nice.
Well, you can come check it out too. And yeah, earlier or running.
He might already be here for all we know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll let Beth know that we've been caught, I guess.
Okay.
But I haven't managed to get us in yet.
All right. Well, I really doubt. Well, maybe Rachando has like a really badass.
Yeah, he might have some badass stuff. Yeah. I mean, you'd think so, especially if he's a spy.
I mean, then if I don't give a fuck if he shows up. I mean, he'll show up, get his ass whooped, is what will happen.
Yeah, pretty much,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I'd say keep
Get
going.
in.
Yeah.
Should I try again?
Yeah, you can go ahead and try again.
All right. Oh, that's much better. I got 15.
Okay. So it takes you about 2 minutes this time, and you're able to get the airlock open, and you're able to get into the ship. Where are you going? I mean, obviously up here is the bridge. There is an office. The airlock opens directly up into a common area. The interior of the Invisible Hand is a lot nicer and newer than any A2 class or A2 hero class far trader you've ever been on. Everything in here looks like it's only been out of the bubble wrap for maybe a couple of years.
I'm gonna search the office first.
Okay, go ahead and make a investigate plus intellect check.
I'm gonna stay by the airlock, ready to fight whoever the fuck comes through. So I'm gonna hide right here.
I got.
Just kinda,
Oh, sorry. I got 12.
Okay, so let's see here. So you're going in the office. You find a series of logs. So over the years that you have known Rachando, he has always claimed that he's been a free trader for a long time. He's got skills in finding hard to get items, and that he's been pretty much moving up and down the Dust Belt, basically trading in exactly that, getting hard to find stuff. Looking in the logs, you don't find that he has been active at all before coming to Drinax. His logs start the first time that you ever met him at Drinax.
Ooh, that's suspicious.
That is suspicious. Yeah.
Okay, is there anywhere
Well,
you want to check?
not the first time that you met him. They started the first time that he came to Drinax and established the bazaar. So probably about a year, maybe two, before you guys showed up on scene. But nothing before that. Like, he didn't exist according to these logs.
I'm gonna check out the ship's computer
Okay.
and see if I can figure out
Where in the bridge?
like where he's been in the I'm assuming these are accessible from. And you know what? Actually, I want to go to engineering.
You're going to go to engineering? Okay.
Yeah.
What do you want to do in engineering?
I want to check out this ship and kind of get a real understanding of what where it's gone and what it is capable of. Like,
Okay.
is it does it have firepower? You know, that kind of thing.
So
I just want to analyze the ship.
yeah, go ahead and make a just make a electronics, computers plus intellect or education.
14.
So the ship is armed. It has a pop-up turret, a pop-up double turret with a beam laser and a sandcaster in it. And as far as trip logs, one of the interesting places that it has been fairly recently was Vorito.
Oh, really? Why would he be a burrito? Yeah. So, okay.
So digging a little deeper, Captain Beth, you discover that you find another set of logs, kind of proving that Rachando was full of shit the entire time. According to these logs, he was only acting as a free trader for a few months before he arrived on the Floating Palace. And any history before that is a complete mystery. The only sign that both you and Keith kind of link up with is that a lot of trade has been done at Vorito, and you see a ledger of transfers of particular items that you know came from the Floating Palace. So one of the things, and this has gone on for as long as you've been here, that essentially people on the Floating Palace will trade whatever they can get their hands on to Rachando, including King Oleb, in order to get things that they particularly need. In many cases, this may be fresh seed for their hydroponic gardens. I mean, they got to feed themselves, right? In other cases, it could be spare parts or raw materials, whatever. And in almost every case, I mean, the Kingdom of Drinax, for all of its bluster and grandeur and making themselves seem bigger than they are, they don't have a lot of cash on hand usually. And so for the most part, everybody on the Floating Palace, including King Oleb, have been trading priceless Sindalian artifacts from the Kingdom of Drinax to Rachando in order to get these whatever it is that they want to purchase. And you're seeing you what?
They're going to Vorito?
Yes. You are seeing that these items are being traded at Vorito for usually for hard currency, usually Imperial credits. And then he'll make a jump from Vorito to another world. Usually he'll travel to Asis, sometimes even to Tyok, and to purchase items before making his way back to Drinax.
I want to look for like a concealed compartment.
Go ahead and make an investigate plus intellect check. What is Ting doing?
Ting has removed the gloves of his combat armor, and then he's turning the lights off. Here he's disabling the lights.
Okay.
Here in this area number 4.
Okay, so you're turning off the lights in the common area.
Not turning off, disabling.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the captain walks in, he can turn the lights on, by that. But if the lights are fucked up, you got to fix them before you turn them on.
Right.
So, yeah. So that's what I'm doing.
How are you doing? I mean, are you just loosening light bulbs? What do you?
I'm just going to remove the light bulbs.
Okay.
So I got a 10.
Okay. You do find a hidden concealed compartment, but it is currently empty.
I was hoping to find like one of the drums or something weird.
Yeah, where would one of those be there?
Oh, as a matter of fact, though, yes. That is a good point. You do, in the concealed compartment, it is empty of cargo, but you do find another data drum that is transmitting a signal.
Well, I guess we gotta get that out of here, right? You could bring it to the Scholar's Tower to get it.
You could take it to the Scholar's Tower. That's a good idea.
Can you disable the ship in any way? Right.
Oh yeah. I'm sure I could like unplug a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he's a fucking engineer. He could do a whole bunch of damage.
Right? I could shut off his fusion reactor and then remove the fuel rods or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I was thinking that when he got on board the ship, I would kill him right there in that, and we'll just fly his ship out.
Okay, we can wait for him to show up, but he might run away. I don't know. We could do that.
Oh,
though. We
Yeah,
have
he
to
might be in hiding. We don't know what he's doing.
yeah, we don't know what he's doing, but I mean, if he, I mean, this is his ship. It's obviously his only way around, and if he's been informed that someone was snooping around, he'd probably come investigate. And if he comes and investigate, and he comes up on the ship, I don't give a fuck if he's armed. Uh, we'll have our little confrontation right there in area number 4, and hopefully I'll kill his ass, and then we just do whatever we got to do to make the ship fly.
All right, we'll wait then. Don't disable anything. We'll wait until I can send.
Okay.
Really, kind of right here to the side.
Okay.
Yeah, when you come in, I wanna fuck him up.
And so is Keith disabling the power plant?
I'm not. I'm
Okay.
waiting.
You're waiting. Okay.
If we gotta leave the ship, you should do that before. Yeah, but I don't know why we didn't.
Nice one. Yep.
Okay. You guys, go ahead and go ahead and everybody roll initiative.
I'm gonna roll a 4 in the morning. Did you get 11?
Okay. Everybody, yeah, well, Ting and Beth, you can make a recon plus intellect check.
And
Nice.
12.
Nice. So, Beth, you can see out the viewports, and Ting, you see looking up through the common area, there is a large viewport above you. You see overhead, you see this merchant class merchant trader coming in to dock, the one that you had scanned earlier, that was out of Marduk. And it comes in and is docking into one of the berths, and you kind of just are kind of watching this thing because nobody's coming. And disembarking from the ship after it lands, it takes about 20 minutes. And disembarking from this ship, you see a number of obvious crew members. They're wearing the typical, spacer's jumpsuit. And then coming down off down the ramp, you see that there is a number of Marduk diplomats that are wearing the traditional white robes, and all of them are wearing an elaborate mask and headdress that mimics the headdress resembles the sea gods of Marduk, and to the point where they actually have the masks inside the mask is a device that they can use their tongue with to make the tentacles of these sea monsters on their heads move. And both Ting and Captain Beth, you can make a just go ahead and roll a. I doubt you have any. Do you have any language? Probably not. Just go ahead and roll a straight intellect. 2D plus your intellect score. Or 2D plus your intellect DM.
8.
10.
Shit. Both of you got it. So, you don't know what the language is, but you've been to Marduk, what, 2 or 3 times now? You've seen this before, and you recognize. So these generally these diplomats from Marduk, you can tell that this is a trade delegation, and the actual using their tongue to puppet the tentacles around on their head is actually a part of this this trade language that they've developed on Marduk.
And if
That's
he's not
pretty
going to,
cool.
yeah, that is pretty cool. If he's not going to show up, do you think maybe you can sabotage the J drive so that way when the ship enters jump space, it'll blow up?
Oh, sure.
The ship can't leave, and then we kill Rachando, and then we get a new ship.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, we don't want it to blow up. This is a nice ship.
I want you to take a part that's hard to replace.
So
And
You won't notice.
So all 3 of you can make another intellect check. 2D plus your intellect modifier.
7.
10.
Oh,
So Keith and Beth, the thought occurs to you. Nobody knows what you are currently doing, and Rachando is a. I mean, it would be an understatement to say that Rachando is a friend of the Drinaxian court. He has basically brought them stuff. He's brought them stuff that they have had absolutely no other access to get in times of serious need. So if you were to just, off him, that may not look good for you.
fair enough.
I thought the ship pinged him that I was messing around their business.
It pinged Rachando, but
Yeah.
you didn't stop. You didn't tell Prince Herrick or King Oleb that you were going to investigate Rachando at all, or why.
True.
Do you
Okay,
guys
let's
want to? Yeah. Do you two want to sneak off and go deal with the delegation, all that, and I'll stay here? I mean, while they don't know what we're doing, they don't know what we're doing, and I mean, they don't know we're on the ship. If he comes on his ship, I'll kill him.
I think I can strand him in space if he tries to go out and tries to jump. I could make it so that he's just stuck.
That
That's
works.
definitely an option. We could do that instead, and then just go leave and go deal with our stuff, and then come back when he's stranded in space,
All
and then
right.
deal with him next. We can decide what to do with him at that point.
He's probably going to the court and trying to get favors for them and stuff. So let's take the data drum and take it to the scholar town. Then over.
Beth and Ting make another recon plus intellect check.
Nine.
Okay.
8.
So you see that this trade delegation from Marduk includes 5 individuals, all wearing the masks, the tentacle masks. One of them heads off and leaves the royal port. The other 4 start heading towards your ship, not the Invisible Hand, but towards the Anubis.
Oh, I wonder what they're doing there.
Um,
Are you people
Probably
watching?
coming to talk.
I think it would be in our best interest to talk to them. I mean, who knows? Are they going to try to board our ship?
Why would they do that?
Like, what is the deal? What are they doing?
I mean, I
Are,
can.
are they going to try and break into it? I don't know what harm could really happen.
Yeah,
Like if they break into it, then we'll go after them, and if they don't, then we can't get on. So,
Well,
okay.
we have to be
they're going to be talking to us or something, right?
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. They want to talk.
It's
Doesn't
not.
the Anubis have something similar to a ring doorbell thing? You know, where
Probably.
yeah, why can't I just answer them remotely?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a electronics comms plus intellect or education check.
With an 11.
So yeah, you answer remotely, and there are these four people. Now it is not positive, but it is your opinion that they're all females. And their face is completely covered in this white and gold tentacle mask. And as they talk, the tentacles kind of move and mimic stuff. And you hear one of them say that they are looking for representatives of Drinax that has visited our world many times.
Well, right now, the leadership of the ship is busy and unable to receive guests. Unfortunately, Captain Beth has contracted a virus. She's got explosive diarrhea. We're gonna work it out. She'll be okay. She's taking some medication. She's okay. But right now is just not a good time. If you give us a few hours, we can meet you on the Floating Palace, or we will send a delegation to approach your ship. We're not trying to be disrespectful, because you caught us unexpected.
She says, "Oh, I completely understand. We will come back later. Make a recon plus intellect check."
All right, that'll be a 12.
So you notice two things while you were while you were giving your deceptive check. Note that I didn't make you make a deception check. The one standing next to her had pulled out a mobile comm and was doing something on it. And then after she says that they will come back to speak to you another time. You see the two of them look at each other, and their head tentacles start doing a whole bunch of stuff back and forth. They're talking to each other through these tentacle signs.
We need the language.
Oh, they might know where the comm signal came from that
Yeah,
addressed them. Yeah, but that is what it is.
that's how it went down. Yep.
Yeah, I don't have. We don't answer them, and you know, the best they tell the direction could be the ship on the other side of this one. No telling. We could be in a personal quarters somewhere on the palace, bouncing signals around because that's what I do.
So, am I grabbing this data drum and hauling it over to the knowledge tower?
I'm sorry, you're doing what now?
Am I doing that? Is the question to King and Beth?
I think we need to take all the drums as evidence. I'm not sure what we're going to do with them, but I mean they definitely prove that the guy is spying more than trading. I mean, at the very least, I mean we've kind of figured that out.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll grab that data drum and take it.
Okay. Are you going to try to disable the ship should it try to jump?
I think we should try and disable it from being around.
Okay, I can make it so that it just stays here. Is that an option also?
Yeah. Go ahead and make a
Yeah.
engineering. Are you disabling the J drive or are you disabling the M drive?
I think I'll disable the M drive.
Okay.
I think that's what I
Go ahead
want
and
to
make
do.
a engineering M drive plus intellect or education, your choice. Okay. See here.
Mm.
Okay. So you this takes you. Are you doing it? Are you doing it major? Are you just removing one minor little part that can't function without it? It's a know nothing part, but it's something when you don't got one, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I wanted to make it so that it's hard for him to figure out what's wrong, and also fairly easy for me to fix it again later.
Okay, taking the rotor out of the distributor cap.
Right, exactly.
so so yeah, you it takes you all of about maybe 3 minutes. In that 3 minutes, while you are working, the airlock opens.
Oh,
Come on, where's my layer? Change layer. Okay. Let's see here. I will have her make a recon check. Are you fucking kidding me? She didn't have recon? Ridiculous.
Assassin's got it.
That that's ridiculous.
That's pretty funny.
Man, almost though. So Ting, you see this chick come walking in. This is what she looks like. On here.
Well, I want to hit her with.
I'm gonna say that you. I mean, you get a free attack on her because she failed her recon check so miserably she walked right into you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna attack her with my monofilament razor claws
Okay.
and see how she likes it. Does a 13 hit?
Yes. So that is going to be a +5 damage. What is your AP on those?
AP 20.
Okay, so let's see. She has polycarapace of 12 plus subdermal of another 3. So she 5 gets through.
Ooh.
Go ahead and roll your damage. +5
What?
damage.
20.
Okay, so 15 gets through. Ouch.
Oh, she's got 25 armor?
23.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 15. And you have 20, so 5 got through.
No, I have AP 20.
Oh, okay. I hear what you're saying. Okay. Okay, so all of it got through. Let's
Mm.
She should be having a bad day.
Mm.
Okay, so you swipe and you paint her chest red. You can see it coming through. You see that she is wearing polycarapace armor. And you see blood coming out of this armor now. There's a big slash right through the armor. This one. Right around the corner. She, of course, now knows that you are there. Is going
But it's
to.
in the dark, too.
True. But she has enhanced vision, so it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
yeah. Well, that kicks that all out. Yeah. There you go.
She is going to. Let's see. 3 2. That's +1 to damage.
What is she doing?
She hits you with a stunner for 9 points.
Doesn't go through my armor.
Okay. This one is in the door, and this one is climbing up, getting into the airlock. But there's another +2 to that. Never mind, that fails. Keith, what are you doing? You hear some
Am I
static.
done with?
You hear some faint static coming over the communications from your
Okay.
comm dot.
Am I done disabling the vehicle or the ship?
No, you were right in the middle of it. You're just putting it back together, and you've got, like I said, the rotor out of the distributor cap. So you're just getting the distributor back together, but you can hear that there's a light static coming over the comms. I don't know if Ting has said anything, but it's
Pretty clear that something's happening. So, I guess I'll rush to finish what I'm doing and get ready to get out of here.
okay. So you are finishing your work. Ting, what are you doing on your turn?
Well, this first chick that I hit, is that person still able to do anything?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Well, then I will have to hit him again. Does a 9 hit?
Yes, it does with +1 to damage.
All right. 17 with AP 20.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So you basically cut through her polycarapace and pull her heart out and show it to her.
Good.
Make a recon plus intellect check.
8.
So yeah, you just stab in with your claws and rip parts of her out. And parts of the stuff that's coming out, you realize that she has subdermal armor beneath her skin. You're seeing that there's a lot of... she's jacked up. There's a lot of augmentation going on.
Well, all right.
Did you
Then,
did you want to move at all? You can move 4 of these squares.
I'm gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, right around the corner.
Okay. So, Beth, you can hear that the iris hatch to the bridge opened, and somebody came running, and you also hear that there's a faint static in the background from your comm dot.
I also heard the sound of someone's heart being removed and recognized it.
Probably. There's a squishing sound.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
lot of
man.
blood out in the common room. Because I just fucking waylaid that.
Yeah, you would
stupid
probably
little
step out on the bridge and see Tang just fucking covered.
Just be
smiling.
like, what the
Looks like you
fuck,
stepped
Tim?
out of a Carrie movie.
Like,
Okay,
Captain, I had to go non-violent on them.
good work.
Works every
I'll
time.
step out
Yeah.
and aim. I'm aiming down the hallway.
Okay, so you're aiming. You'll get a +1 on your next attack. So this chick.
Whoever steps up first is getting blasted.
She's going to take cover behind, duck down behind the table, and with her other 2 actions, she is holstering the stunner and is pulling out off of a sling her Gauss rifle. This one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And so she used all 3 minor
Okay,
actions.
He's after you, bro.
Yeah. So scary.
This one comes around the corner, comes to the corner and looks around the corner and fires her Gauss rifle in full auto. She's going to take a -2 to her rolls because she's not aiming. She's not even really looking where she's firing. She just knows that people want that, or that, you know, the bloody nightmare went that direction. So let's see. That means sorry, I forgot what I was looking for. Let's see. Gauss rifle. Auto 3. She gets to make 3 attacks at +3 because she's at -2. Attack number 1. That's gonna hit Beth for 2, or for +2 to damage. 16. I doubt that goes through your armor.
No.
Second attack is gonna hit. No bonus damage. For another 16. God damn it. And her final full out. Ooh, that's
Dang.
a crit. Let's see here. That is a crit. So first, That's 23. I think that is exactly what your armor is, isn't it? Or is it 22?
I have 27 written down, and I don't know if that's correct though.
Yeah. I remember because you upgraded it.
Okay.
Okay. So it didn't get
Well,
through, but
only
that's
10 members, so-
still a crit. That's like taking a shotgun blast in the vest.
Okay.
Where's combat? Here we go. Let's see where she hit you. First and foremost, right in your chest.
Ooh, sorry, knocked me over.
Oh, come on. Jeez. 6. So you take I mean, what? 3 of these rounds slams into your chest really hard. Your armor is, you can see sparks kind of shoot out of your armor. It doesn't crack the armor itself, but it takes some damage. And yeah, you go over onto your back. You are flat on your back. So we will pause here for this week, and we will pick this up next week with Keith's turn on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Have a good night, guys.
That was fun. Good night.